Is it even worth it to go and spend a lot of platinum for the familiar? That is what we are going to try and find out in this video, at least what I have been trying to do myself. If we go to the market here, currently I am sitting at 272k platinum, and if we go to the market, go to familiar tab, we have about 90 for familiar here in this tab, and there is a lot we can do here. Actually, we can click here on bottom and select for something that we are looking for example, I have been trying to find the savior myself. I need that. At least it is going to be good for me for PvP and PvE, and I want to talk about how this talent works as well. But we can see there are only two familiar available in market with the savior passive, and they are both really expensive, at least more expensive than I can afford. The first one is almost 310k. It comes with the Savior passive, the familiar grant a one-time protection from death, including damage immunity for 3 seconds, and it can trigger every 75 seconds. But there is one very important thing to note about the Savior passive, how it works, especially if you are trying to get this for the PvP. If you are about to die, it will make you immune to all damage and keep your HP stuck at 1 for 3 seconds. During this duration, you can still be stunned from other players, and if they keep you stunned after the duration of the 3 second will end, you will instantly die because it will not heal you during that duration, and you will only stay at 1 HP. So during this duration, it will be best for you to disengage, especially in PvP, and go to a safe place and stay there until you can heal up. But in PvE, it is going to be really good, especially when it comes to some harder content like the challenge rift or the raid bosses. That is where we can easily stay alive at like 1 HP without taking a hit, and so savior is going to be somewhat really good for me in both PvP and PvE, and why I am trying to get this. But anyhow, this familiar here that costs 310k, it comes with a savior, and that it comes with rupture. Each hit on the same enemy with the same familiar active skill increase is damaged by 36%. It is not all that big because still it's just a familiar damage, not all that great. And then bloodlust increase the familiar active skill damage by 12% for each nearby enemy up to 24%. It can be somewhat good for the challenge rift and decent for the PvP, I would say, but still it's not worth 300k in my opinion, because all of the trades are inactive here. Unless you can make these trades active, the price tag here is just not worth it for the 3 passives that we have. Anyhow, I was about to take a quick look at the next familiar that costed even more, 480k, and the one that we just took a look at is sold out. So in my server, prices are extremely crazy. Why I wanted to talk about if this thing is even worth it. For some players it is worth it, and so why we are here talking about this topic. So anyhow, 480k platinum for the next one. It has 3 inactive passive, maximum life increase, critical hit damage, and the increased damage to player or traits are inactive, and it comes with 3 legendary passive here. The first one increase the critical hit chance of the familiar active skill, and the next one is rupture, increase the damage of the familiar up to 36%, and then it has savior. Again, somewhat it is not worth it in my opinion if you cannot have the active traits, but there is a way to make these traits active, and why I am currently looking at this myself. For me, this is worth it because I can actually change these inactive traits to active by having a simple exchange. If we come to the shop here, go to the exchange attributes, I have one familiar here which has really high stats, 172 inside and 151 ferocity, and that is what is needed to activate the traits of this familiar. It will give me, I believe so, 4.5% critical hit damage and 3% life once I activate these legendary traits. And the appearance of the familiar will also turn into a legendary. So in my opinion, 480k for someone who spent a lot here and there, it might be a good deal, because some of the gems like this can cost a lot more. If I'm about to get this gem to rank 7, I still need 10 more copies, and that is close to maybe 600k platinum. And so trying to get one familiar that costs maybe 400k might be a decent investment when it gives you a savior passive as well, gives you life, critical hit damage, and more damage to plays, and with some legendary passives. So in my opinion, these are somewhat worth getting. They will stay with you for a very long time, and you don't have to always try and upgrade them. You can try and get some good passives and traits and keep using that familiar for a long time to come, unlike the legendary gems where you have to keep trying on to upgrade them. Anyhow, I'm signing off. So you guys have a great day. See you all in the next one later.